Hello viewers, Tigura here with the third installment of my Q&A series. Got more questions out of the query video ready for you. If your question wasn't answered, stay tuned for the next installment in the future, and perhaps I'll answer them then. You have more questions for me? Click the annotation I'll be putting up here and ask them there. And remember, spoiler related questions or questions that are too personal will be ignored. Now, let's get started. Alright, first question by Jasmine Brown Eyes. What's your opinion of the reveal of the Super Smash Bros. 50 Fact Extravaganza? It was a good thing I had no customers to tend to at the time, because the stream was live when I was at work, and I wanted to watch it over my phone above all else. When Mewtwo got revealed, I was ecstatic. Could not wait to see how the internet exploded after this news when I got home. Alright, now, continuing off these Smash Bros. Questions, the next question will be from Dark Rayquaza 47. What are your thoughts on Bowser being buffed in the new Smash Bros.? And who is your favorite newcomer? I do enjoy Bowser's iteration in Smash 4 very much. Him standing upright makes him seem tougher and kingly and less mindless animal like his old hunchback stance. But I really like how it enhances the aesthetic between his normal self and his Giga Bowser form. When he goes Giga, he reverts back to his original stance and animations from Melee and Brawl. To me, it's like Bowser temporarily loses his stable and, relatively speaking, intelligent mind and becomes a more wild, savage monster, hell-bent on slaughtering those in his way. Instead of fists, he flails with sharp claws. Instead of a drop kick, he swings his head at you. Bowser is more human with his actions, while Giga Bowser is more animalistic. I like that contrast. It shows little character. And my favorite newcomer by far is Palutena. Out of all the characters in Kid Icarus Uprising, I thought they may as well just go with Magnus. I hear Palutena get mentioned here and there, but how she would play wasn't something I could see working, since all I thought they had to go on was her boss fight. I wasn't against her by any means, I just didn't know what they could do to make her a playable character. Then come her nice anime trailer, I couldn't believe I didn't think of it before. They had her use some of the powers you were able to use in Uprising. It was so obvious. So it was all a nice and welcome surprise. You can see my reaction to it here if you hadn't already. Next series of questions by Nate the Great. 1. Since the new Smash game just came out, what characters did you feel doesn't deserve a spot in the new Smash, Dr. Mario? Personally not a fan. I've gotten over Dark Pit since it kinda makes sense, but I still think more thought should have been put into him. And I'm perfectly aware that he, along with Lucina and the Doc, was basically an afterthought in the game's production, by the way. Alright, 2. Since you played the new Smash Brothers, how is the feel of the game for you? Sorry about that. Smash 4 is fine to me. Personally, my second favorite iteration of Smash behind Melee. Just wish we'd finally get a legit Bowser's Castle stage, not that brief cameo in the 3DS versus Paper Mario stage. Seriously, Bowser gets revamped more than any veteran, his son and the Koopalings are added to the roster. We don't give him and his family a home core complete with epic Bowser music throughout the years? Sakurai, please. And 3, was there a majority of characters you wanted to decide to be the main character for your series? If not, what character would you have decided on being the main protagonist if Bowser wasn't available? I've always wanted Bowser to be the main character in Smash King, but if he was made into Ridley status, Donkey Kong would probably be my main protagonist instead. He's my second favorite Nintendo husband though after Bowser, as well as the original best friend character to Bowser in Smash King's original concept. Alright, next question by Dr. Gradamet. Okay, let's try this. If you were to continue the Smash series into 4, which new characters would you want to be main or secondary characters? Well, I'm not willing to talk too much about that for right now, but I'll say that one new character that I want to be a secondary would be...
A good tactician has nothing to fear.
Robin!
Well, her name wouldn't be, Robin. That's the male one. See, it would be the thing I did with Charizard all over again. The male one is named Charizard, the female uses the Japanese name Blizzardon. So, male Robin is Robin, female Robin is Reflay. And they would be siblings. There. I'm sure some of you were wondering about that, despite the fact that Reflay showed up in What Time Is It, while Robin cameoed in Bowser's Butterflies, not to mention that they were both mentioned in Liz's Fourth World Logs. But I digress. Moving on. Alright, taking a little break from these Smash related questions from Mario Keeman. I can see you enjoy the Tales series. What is your favorite game in that series? That would have to go to Tales of the Abyss. I could say that I enjoyed the playable characters both as playable characters and even as characters in the narrative, Jade being my top favorite. The game's story has some issues here and there. PS2 version's load times were, abysmal, and both Ash and Sync pissed me off for various reasons, but I still enjoyed it. Exilia 2 is up there in my favorites in terms of story, while Graces has my personal favorite battle system in the series. Next question by SpiderFreak1011. How exactly did you come up with the username Tigura21 in the first place? Was it created on a whim, or was it something that took you a while to come up with? Tigura is the name of a character I made for myself when I used to do Lion King fanfiction. He was a rare white tiger with silver stripes. I then separated him from Lion King stuff cause, lol, tigers in Africa? Do even ecology, young me? But yeah, he then became a star of an original story that I hope to delve back to into the future. As for where the name Tigura came from, well, Ronin warriors in a way. There was a character in the second half of that show named Kyra, but despite it being pronounced Kyra, official stuff spelled it with a U. But even then, I thought the name looked pretty like that. So I took the Ura and slapped it into Tiger, and I pretty much got the Thundercat with a U. And as for 21, I made this YouTube channel when I was 21 years old. Alright, next set of questions is by WebbyNeon89. Just so you know, since you asked 5 questions, I decided to cut down to the first 2 for right now. Maybe in the next Q&A I'll answer your remaining 3, if you didn't have any other questions after this. Anyway, moving on. Noticing the fact that I've heard the Japanese Digimon OST at Smash King, from favorite to least, how would you rank the seasons of this series you sat down to watch? Tamers, Adventure 01, Sabers, Cross Wars, Frontier, Adventure 02. And second question, in terms of episodes that have been released counting the Rakanto files as well, what specific character interactions along with vital development moments do you hold closest to your heart? If there is one character interaction that particularly hits real close to home for me, it'd be Bowser and Lizardon. At first, it was an accident. I made Liz to be that one girl that actually finds Bowser attractive because I thought it'd be different than boy meets girl and boy must win her attention and her hearts. But the more I began to write Liz into more things, the more I found that I subconsciously wrote one of my many lost opportunities in life in the show without realizing it. Back when I was in college, I was in the marching band, clarinet player since middle school. I was a sophomore at the time, or maybe I was a junior, it's been a while. And there was this one new freshman, a short, sweet, Rubenesque girl. She's kinda bubbly, not necessarily bright, but not at all stupid. I usually talk to her a bunch and help her out in our formation as we march. It felt natural being with her. It's cause she seemed kinda ditzy, it kinda fed into my ego as man to be the smart one. And on the other hand, since she was always so cheerful and happy, I couldn't help but brighten up and come out of my usually quiet and reserved shell. But most of all, she seemed really into me. The other girls thought I didn't notice, but I wasn't oblivious. I saw the signs, I saw the way she looked at me sometimes. There was even one time where she pouted that I wasn't riding the same bus as her when we prepped for away games. And quite honestly, I thought she was pretty cute myself. And a nice butt too. Come to think of it, I do have Bowser comment on Liz's butt every so often.
Get your big tail moving before I tug on it. And instructor, why are you sniffing Liz's butt? A knight without your classy chassis. Your first mistake was thinking I'd be patient. And your second mistake was thinking this bridge wasn't already breaking past the weight limit thanks to that huge butt of yours. Ugh!
Look at you, Dad! You're groping her right now!
No, I'm not.
Anyway, I had eyes. I saw that she was interested in me. But I didn't work her nerve to ever try my hand with her because at the time, I personally felt like if I couldn't get my act together alone when it came to my studies, I couldn't possibly balance mine and hers. Not to mention that I kinda had a bad experience with a girl once back in high school. Throughout the fall season, it all just stayed the same. We had fun in band, we ate lunch together a few times, and she even allowed me to hug her when we cheered on the football team often. During the spring, we kinda split up since she wasn't in regular band, though I still pass her from time to time on campus. One time near the end of the semester, she was dressed up formally for something, and she was just stunning. I wanted to finally take a chance with her by next fall season, where we could be in marching band again. But unfortunately, I found out that she transferred to another school. Because I lacked the confidence and common sense, I waited too long and missed my chance. So I see myself in that girl I lost a chance with through Bowser and Liz. Bowser isn't oblivious either. He knows perfectly well that Liz is fond of him, and we'll see whether he'll let her slip away, or he'll take the initiative that I didn't. And once again, Smash King HD is a spin-off. It's not canon. It's already making a lot of assumptions about how Smash King the Brawl Machinima will end. So we'll see what actually happens. Next question by /20. Hey Tigura, I just wanted to know how it felt starting your own Machinima. Like, from the beginning. What's your secret? It was a leap of faith, honestly. Prior to Machinima, I've been doing Sonic compilation movies, so I had a little audience available under my belt, like 500 subs, I think, if I remember correctly. But I had no solid guarantees that Super Bowser World would catch on. But it was fine, because I had fun making it at the time, and it was something that I wanted to do. When I first started Smash King, it was no different. I did it because it was fun. Gaining popularity would be pretty great, but I felt like I'd set myself up for disappointment that way, just looking to get a foot in the door. It was just a hobby. Then sure enough, Mega Blaster found my work, saw my potential, asked me to get Skype, and I eventually found myself where I am now. And continuing off that question, Aeon3 Veil 4, when starting a new Smash Machinima or making one for the first time, what kind of perspective should you see in making one? Like, take it seriously or make it just a hobby? I say find a good balance in between. If it's not something you made to get money due to YouTube partnerships, you should make videos at your own comfortable pace. Don't turn what started as a hobby into a job. If you're not having fun, take the time to just stop for a while and relax. Or maybe make an easier video to mitigate your mood for bigger projects and provide something for your ever-thirsty fans. However, don't underestimate the effort it takes to make Machinima. Machinima is both a visual and oral experience. If your work falls short in even one of those areas, not a lot of people will want to see more. Voice work must not be overpowered by background music, or else all the funny jokes or awesome performances you may have in store will be wasted. Constantly flailing the control stick around during replays of CPU fights doesn't make your fight scene epic. It'll just be a dizzying mess. Just because your characters are different won't change the fact that you might have saw somebody else's plot and wanted to take it as your own idea. There's a fine line between inspiration and blatant stealing. So yeah, have fun, but don't tread lightly. This question is by Scorpio. If you had started Smash King and Smash Wii U instead of Brawl, would any changes have been made to the cast? Like if you had replaced Ike with Shulk or something like that? Considering that all the major players of Smash King made the jump from Brawl to Smash 4, probably not a lot of changes besides perhaps Bowser Jr. complicating the love square even further.
Mama Peach or Mama Liz? Which one do I want?
Which one does Junior need more?
Forget action series. Smash King is a soap opera, bar none. Alright, penultimate question by Isuke Amarin. I seem to remember you telling me in a message to one of my old accounts that you'd never use a Giga Bowser in any form. What made you change your mind about that? Ridley. It's a long story that I'm not willing to talk about just yet, but I'll just say that I needed something to help explain how Ridley will just show up. So I thought of Bowser gets infused with the creator's power, he rejects it, that power fuels Ridley. How it came out was kinda messy, but I'll work with it. And now, the final question by Mr. Triangle World. Which episode of Smash King are you most proud of, and which one do you curse the very existence of? Ooh, something I'm proud of. That was a tough one to think about. I like to say episode 9, cause I remember feeling really lax making it. Like, it wasn't stressful and complicated at all, and I really liked how the entire episode flowed. Also featured one of my favorite interactions of the series with Pit and Falco. Another one I liked would be episode 15. Despite the issues considering the development behind that episode, I enjoyed working on that as much as I did for episode 9. It was the cool down aftermath episode after the huge and plot heavy stuff ever since episode 12, so it was a breath of fresh air for me making it as well, as it is for you to finally see the return of the comedy. And pretty much the entirety of part 3 down to the final scene is one of my favorite moments in the series. And now as for an episode I cursed the very existence of, episode 13. Fuck episode 13. Fuck episode 13. Now, I don't mean this is an episode I outright despise and I'm all like, ugh, why the fuck did I make this shit? Ugh! No, not at all. Mario and DDD vs. Ganondorf turned out so damn good, and the Azure Bomb remains one of those moments where I constantly look back at it and I'm like, wow, I made that. My level of editing made that possible. I need to look at that again. No, the production behind it was abysmal. Most of you who stuck with me for a long time remember how long it took for that episode to see completion, especially after the hype I put into the failed reunion special. Honestly, I was asking for too much of myself at that point. I hadn't had a good grasp of After Effects, so I had to force myself to learn it better before I could continue with the episode. It was not very fun, especially when my patience for certain voice actors not getting in their lines and Pinnacle Studio being a sluggish and limited piece of garbage that constantly crashes was nearly lost. Speaking of crashing, that Wrath of Giga Bowser shoutout? There was a version of this on-its stage hack I used that I had Pika Maxi make for me so the characters would be out on the street. It always froze the game every time I no contested the damn thing. So that was a chore. You know what else was a chore? All these fight scenes! Episode 13 currently has the most fight scenes thus far, so that means more elaborate planning and editing than I'm normally accustomed to at the time, especially when editing with the aforementioned piece of garbage editor Pinnacle Studio that crashes constantly! Let me tell you right now, episode 13 was my most trying time. I came close to giving up Machinima thanks to that episode! And when I decided not to give up, I nearly wanted to cop you all out on Bowser vs. Ganondorf. That fight almost didn't happen, cause I just wanted that episode to be over. Playing tennis with Ganondorf almost didn't happen. The Azure Bomb almost didn't happen. Peach and the gang would wake Bowser up, but Ganondorf would have ran away without Bowser getting to throw out even one punch. The main character himself wouldn't have got to end off the episode and by extension the reunion special with a bang? That would have sucked! That made me want to go through with the fight. And even then, the Azure Bomb still almost didn't happen because I thought I corrupted the project file in After Effects. And making the Azure Bomb in After Effects took hours! Fuck! Episode 13! Episode 17 can also kiss my ass. The exact opposite of episode 13. It was mostly talking, so it was just so boring to work on after the Team Falcon and Team Yoshi battle. There's more to why that episode took so damn long to complete, but I'd be lying if I said that being bored of working on the episode didn't have anything to do with that. Well, that's all the questions I have for today. Be sure to stop by the query video to post any questions you'd like me to answer in the next installment, and continue watching my channel for future updates and videos. Feel free to check out my alternate channel, Dragonroar21, for gameplay videos and the like, as well as stop by the Smash King fan club on DeviantArt. Catch you all next time, and remember, video descriptions are your friends.